Transformers more than meets the eyes. This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and today we are gonna finish up with the Legacy United Transformers Autobot series of 5. And as you know already, if you've been watching the other videos, we have already reviewed from left to right, starting with Jazz, then Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and the last time we did Wheeljack. So today we are doing the last of this series, and we are going to be taking out Hound out of the box for the very first time and transforming it, and we are going to compare him to all the other Autobots that we have here, and then we're going to transform him, and then we're going to have the others transformed off screen, and we are going to compare all the cars together, and as far as size and shape, as well as the robots. So let's have a look at Hound. Let's take him out of the box. Let's zoom in on him. And we're going to carefully release the Hound, so to speak. I'm going to actually turn him around, because I think it's actually probably easier just to push these things up a little bit to free him up. And then we're going to bring him over here. And I think his arms are still tangled in here. So let me see if I might have to cut his arms loose. So let's do that. I'm going to cut his arms loose here, cut his arms loose there, and then we got just the legs to get rid of. I think I got him now. There we go. Hound is unleashed. Let's plop him over here. Very good. Let's recenter that. So last, we just got to get the two weapons unhooked. So we got his, this is like his, I guess his hologram weapon. And then we got his little rocket launcher over here. That one, we'll just see if I can unleash that easily enough. Alright, now I can finally get rid of this cardboard box. Alright, so let's get Hound here. We're going to put his little rocket launcher on his thing there. And we'll put his, I guess his gun right over here. So let's get Hound over here and focus on him temporarily. Let me get him in better in frame. And that way we can get the other Transformers transformed off screen in a moment. But first, before we do that, let's compare him to the other Fab 5. So let's have a look. Size-wise, Hound is looking like he might be, let's straighten up Jazz, he might be either the shortest or one of the shortest. Let's see, I think Jazz is shorter than Hound. So there you go, Jazz is shorter than Hound. And he is actually taller than Wheeljack as well. Trailbreaker by far is the tallest. By far. It looks like Wheeljack and Sunstreaker are about the same height. I don't know, is Jazz the same height as these guys? So surprisingly, I thought Hound was the shortest one, or one of the shortest ones. He's actually not. I think Jazz, Sunstreaker, and Wheeljack are about the same height. And surprisingly, Hound is a little bit taller. Just a little bit. Alright, so that's cool. Just like all the other Autobots, Hound has very good joint mobility. You know, very posable. You know, he's got a good feet joint. He should be able to be pretty stable in a lot of different situations. Let me just get him like that. We can get him standing up. We can have him doing all types of motions there, and he should be pretty stable for pretty much most of those forms. So overall, let's move these out of the way so we can just kind of focus on Hound. I'm going to take these out of the way, so now that we had, we can see them one more time all together. Okay, so in order, we had Jazz over there, and then we had Sunstreaker right there, Trailbreaker, then we have Wheeljack, and on finishing up with Hound today. So all in all, very good set. I'm happy with all of them, and Hound, always one of my favorites in the cartoon, just because of his ability of the holograms. Now, so originally, apparently, him and Mirage had opposite powers. So Mirage was the one with the holograms, and Hound was the one that could turn invisible. But I guess during the show's production, they thought that that might look better if Mirage turned invisible and Hound had the hologram. So that's kind of interesting Transformer tidbit. So this is our hologram maker. One time defeating all the Decepticons with a giant illusion of one gigantic Autobot that we never saw again. But that, you know, that is the power of the holograms of Hound here. So Hound obviously transforms into a military Jeep. So we're going to be doing that. And let's focus on, we're going to be focusing on that right now. So I'm going to take all of these other guys off screen so we can slowly transform them into vehicles. And right now I am going to focus on Hound's transformation. Now Hound has the least amount of steps. He's got 13 steps. Most of the other ones have 18 or in around 18 steps. So hopefully that means Hound will be the easiest to transform. We shall find out. So step one, we're going to take off the weapons. The back of Hound, nothing too special. It's just the back hood. This whole part is still exposed. I don't know if this thing's supposed to fall down. No, it's supposed to stay like that. Okay, so yeah, this whole back part's exposed. But other than that, the front part looks pretty cool. Obviously, a lot more joint mobility than the G1 Transformer toy. I think, I don't, to be honest, I never had a Hound when I was growing up, so I don't really know. I can't remember how that one transformed or what it looks like. But hey, today we got this one. So let's going to start with folding the arms back. That's how it starts. Then we're going to flip this little hoodie thing up, and it's supposed to go into these slots. We're supposed to snap these circle things into here. So let's push that down. There we go. And then we are from there flipping the hoodie thing up. All right. So we flip the hood thing up. And now we're going to turn the arms inwards. Okay, the arms are in. And we're supposed to now flip these arms in this way. It looks like. Yippers. We got the arms in like that. So that's what it looks like on top so far. Actually, this should be in more. There we go. And let's figure out what we got to do with these hands now. They're supposed to bend in. So let's bend those arms in. And now we're playing with the legs. So we're going to pull the legs up. And then we got to pull these wheels out. There we go. And now we're going to flip them all the way open. So these are going to build up the sides, it looks like. And then we're basically going to snap the legs, it looks like, together. There we go. And let's see, anything else we're supposed to do with that? Basically flipping this whole thing. No, that can't be right. Flipping, I guess we have to flip right here at this joint. Flip that all the way down. Flip that all the way down. This thing's supposed to stay together. And then we're supposed to somehow attach the arms. I'm sure there's a slot, yes. If you look, there's a slot there where that's supposed to connect into. So we're going to snap in that over there. And we got to do the same thing on this this side too. Okay. So that is the most of it. Now we just have to flip in these things here. And I think that is it. That is it. Okay, so I seem to find that as a common issue with this Transformers is the wheels actually don't touch the ground very well, so they don't actually spin. They do spin, but they don't spin as you drive them. We're going to put this gun on. It looks like they have it going in this area here. There's actually 2 slots, so I guess technically if you don't want to lose the gun, you can put it here, but it doesn't actually, according to the picture, doesn't go there when the car form. So let's zoom back out a little bit. Zoom in, I guess. So this is the car form here. Front does not look bad at all. It's got the blue tint across there. I do believe in the original toy that was more of a glass thing, but I could be wrong. Very good military form. I don't know if I love this part, but I mean, it had to be done with the transformation. Now, the only problem with the Jeep being as it is, obviously, as you transform it, there is no steering wheel. The chairs look really wonky. So, I mean, this being an exposed car, unlike the other cars which are covered, you actually do see the seat, which does not look like the most comfortable. You would, if you were a human, you definitely would not want to be sitting on that. But it is what it is. As far as transformations go, pretty nice, not bad. I don't know if this is my favorite in automobile form compared to the other ones. So let's have a look here. Front, as I said, this one you don't really have to have, but the missile's usually on there. The hood, let's see. Unfortunately, no stickers to put on. Let's put all these tags away. Get the little star there. Now there's the Autobot insignia right there. Very good. I guess technically you could put the gun off the side too there. There's a little slot for it. The arms are somewhat covered, but obviously you can see them when you're like that. Hard to see them when they're hitting the ground. Head's well covered. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. You do see it. But it is green, so it's kind of camouflaged. So unless you flip the car over, you're not going to see anything. So that is Hound in a nutshell. Well, let's compare. Let's see if I can bring this down a bit. And we're going to see how Hound compares to some of the other Transformers we just transformed earlier this week. Let's pull these tags out of their frame. Okay, let's start with Trailbreaker. Trailbreaker and him, let's see, about the same width. About the same width. Yeah, about the same width. Height-wise, Trailbreaker is a little bit higher. But as I said, I mean, Trailbreaker is supposed to be one gigantic car. So, size comparison as far as, you know, if it doesn't seem to be in the same... Like, Trailbreaker is definitely tallest as the robot, but in vehicle form, he should be pretty large. And I don't know what a real military Jeep looks like compared to, like what Trailbreaker is, which is like a, you know, almost like an, I guess, old version of an SUV type of thing, with a big ass truck with a thing in the back. So yeah, I don't know if he's smaller than he should be. Now in comparison, if you look at the length of, you know, you got Sunstreaker over here. He's definitely longer than the other two. And again, I'm not sure if he is supposed to be. I think, well, definitely should be longer than the Jeep, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not sure about the Trailbreaker. There's Jazz. So we can see that Jazz is just a hair smaller or in length than Sunstreaker. And when we compare Wheeljack and Sunstreaker, they're about the same, almost the same length. I think Sunstreaker is just a hair bigger than that. So I think the race cars are all longer than Hound and Trailbreaker, definitely. Height-wise, the two race cars here are definitely more shorter. And then the tank, it looks like, yeah, Jazz is probably the next in line. I think Sunstreaker is probably the second in height, with Wheeljack the shortest. And Trailbreaker, as expected, should be the tallest. I just have a wondering about proportion-wise. I think in proportion, it should be a lot bigger. But anyways, car transforms very well in all situations. So that is how Hound compares to the vehicle modes of all the other cars. So in order, I guess if we wanted to put in order of the ones we transformed up until date, first we had Jazz over there, and then we had Sunstreaker over there, and then we have the big ass Trailbreaker, then we had the scientist Wheeljack, and the military Jeep with the holograms Hound. Okay, so that's all of them in a nutshell, and that's the box art of them behind it. And so let's have a look at Hound. We're going to transform Hound one more time back into robot form, just to show you how that's done. I don't think I'm going to transform up the rest of them again back to robot form, because that's where we started. But let's transform one more time. So let's push these to the side there, and we'll finish up with Hound. So one more time before we transform. Again, this is what it looks like. And so let's go ahead and transform Hound. So let's start with taking off the weapons one more time, and we are going to flip this side things up. Okay, we're going to flip those up. Okay, and then we're going to take the wheels out, and we're going to flip the whole leg mechanism down, release that area, and we're going to kick up the legs. Sorry, I think that was off camera. We're going to kick up the legs. There is a little slot this will go into, I believe, here. And we got to get the feet down as well. So we're going to kick the legs up, kick this feet down. So now we have the feet in place. Now we got to unlock the arms. I think these were flipped. Gotta flip them this way. Flip the arms there. And we're gonna put the hood thing down and flip this down. Sorry, I think I got that slightly off camera. So what I did last was basically we took this thing here and flipped that down, and then we took this back thing here and flipped that back, and for all intents and purposes, that is Hound. So Hound, in my opinion, of the Transformers that we had done in this series, the easiest one to transform, in my opinion. I think Wheeljack is just a bit more easier, or hard, also easy to transform, not as difficult as most of the other Transformers. And so I think Wheeljack is almost as easy as Hound. And then probably I would say Jazz is the next easiest, and Sunstreaker, and probably Trailbreaker to me was the hardest to transform. But overall, a very cool set. It's nice that they have all 5 in one convenient set, reasonably priced. Reasonably priced. I mean, I think in Canadian dollars, I think this set costs about $160-ish in and around. So, you know, just under 30, about $33, $34 each. A lot of these figures of this size sells around there, $35 to $40. So, in line with what you would pay otherwise. And you know, and the cost of these are almost comparable to what you would pay for the G.I. Joe classified figures. So a lot more fun with these ones because you can play with them, transform them. So I think this is a pretty good deal. So if you're thinking about getting this set, I would. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think the robot form and the car form are really good. Pay really good homage to the original Transformers. They don't transform exactly the G1 toys, but I don't think they were meant to. They look more like what you remember in the cartoon, and they're a lot more posable, playable. I think the one aspect I would wish they had more of is the diecast, but I guess that would definitely increase the cost of everything. Also the color matching, as I said before in other videos, Sunstreaker I think should be a little bit more yellow, and I think Trailbreaker should be a little bit more black, but you know, very small details there. Otherwise, I really like this set. I'm hoping they make another set, as I mentioned in other videos. Another Autobot set would be really good. You know, I get Mirage and Smokescreen and a couple of other cars in there, and I think maybe Sideswipe, Prowl. You know, it's easy to get to another 5 cars. No worries with that. I think more difficult with the Decepticons just because they're so varied and usually bigger. Most of them are jets, and I mean, to put 5 jets in one pack, I guess is doable. I mean, there are multiple jets, but you know, I don't know if they would want to add that high of end of set, but they might. You never know. But definitely a great idea for another Autobot set for sure. So this is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. I hope you enjoyed this series of Transformers with a review of Hound. And as I said, Hound looks really cool. Very good robot form, vehicle form, decent. Overall set, awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this series. Leave a comment in the comment section of what you want to see from the Transformers Legacy United sets. And hit that like and subscribe button. It's much appreciated. And we will see you guys soon for more Transformer fun. Take care.